Today we're taking you around one of our favorite cities, Cape Town, South Africa. We first visited Cape Town in 2015 as the final stop on a month-long trip across South Africa. However, by the time we arrived, we only had a couple of days to spare and the weather was less than ideal, so we didn't get to see very much. We knew we had to return to do the city justice and also film a proper Cape Town travel guide for you guys. This time around, we gave ourselves a full week to spare. Our days were packed with sightseeing and with visits to restaurants, chocolate shops, wineries, and gin distilleries. So without further delay, let us show you 30 things to do in Cape Town, South Africa.
Let's start with the attraction that should be at the very top of your itinerary, riding the Mountain Aerial Cableway. Any Cape Townian will tell you to do this at the first sign of clear weather. When the mountain is shrouded in clouds, also known as the tablecloth effect, or experiencing high winds, the cable car shuts down. This can happen from one moment to the next, so you don't want to leave this attraction to your final day just in case.
Table Mountain forms part of Table Mountain National Park, and it has been voted one of the new 7 wonders of nature. Whether you choose to ride the cable car or hike to the top, it's worth a visit for the views you get of Cape Town and Robben Island. Speaking from personal experience, do not underestimate how cold and windy it can get atop Table Mountain, even on the sunniest of days. There's a shop that sells jackets and fleeces as soon as you get off the cable car, and for good reason. So save yourself the cash and bundle up. So last night we were researching some rooftop bars here in Cape Town, and we found one called Cloud9. It's on top of a boutique hotel, and the views are seriously amazing. It's like 360-degree views, and you've got Table Mountain right there.
Well, I think officially we are having the most scenic pizza of our lives.
Oh, yes.
Check that out.
Here we go. So I got Siciliana. So let's see. Apparently this has anchovies, black olives, tomato.
And something I've got to mention is we've had pizza in South Africa a few times on this trip.
Good.
It is so good. They make amazing pizzas here.
Thin crust pizza. Ooh, and capers.
Yeah, most of the time they're thin crust pizza, and they have really cool ingredients. Like I've had pizzas with bacon, feta, avocado.
And Sam got... Which one did you get?
I got the Mediterranean, and that includes, I think I've got spinach, I've got feta, I've got mushrooms, I've got
chorizo.
I've got chorizo. So there's a lot going on in this pizza.
Yours looks really good. We'll have to swap a few slices. One for one. A bite for a bite. A slice for a slice.
Says who?
Says I. Says the wife.
I can really taste that feta.
Yeah.
So nice. And yeah, like the thin crust pizzas are nice and light, and that's kind of good because today's a really hot day. I wouldn't want to be having a big thick pizza.
So this morning we are going scootering around Table Mountain. Check out our rides. I've never ridden one of these scooters before, so it should be a fun adventure. So this is what Table Mountain looks like at the moment. So we're gonna go scootering on Signal Hill instead. Feeling famished from that ride, we made our way to Honest Chocolate on Whale Street. They're a small artisanal chocolate company that not only makes delicious chocolate using organically produced ingredients, but they also brew a nice cup of coffee to go along with their sweet treats. It's the perfect stop for anyone with a sweet tooth. Alright guys, so this afternoon we're at Hope on Hopkins, and it's gonna be a fun gin tasting.
All about the gin, and we found out last year in Edinburgh that you are a big fan of gin.
Oh, we love gin.
I think the last time we had it was when we were there. We were in a gin den, so this is gonna be great. We're gonna be doing a tasting here, and yeah, let's get started with that.
We had a total of 4 gins on our tasting. London Dry Gin, Salt River Gin, Mediterranean Gin, and a pink one called Lucy's Last of the Summer Wines. It was a really fun way to spend the afternoon, especially considering it was a bit chilly out. Alright, Sammy boy, starting with the London Dry.
That is some seriously good stuff. I think we have 3 more to go. The Victorian Alfred Waterfront sits on Table Bay Harbour with views of Table Mountain looming in the background. The complex is home to shops, restaurants, bars, cafes, and a few tourist attractions, so it's a good spot to add to your Cape Town itinerary. While you're down at the V&A waterfront, you can also do a Harbour cruise. We did a short 30-minute tour with city sightseeing. You can buy tickets on the spot for 40 Rand, which was around $3 at the time.
If this isn't your first time in Cape Town, you'll notice that there's a new landmark on the waterfront, and that's the Silo Hotel. This was considered a bit of a concrete eyesore for many years, but the historic grain silo now houses a luxury hotel, a bar, a restaurant, and the new Museum of Contemporary Art Africa, which is set to open in September 2017. We ate at the Granary Café, and the food was delicious.
For a big splash of color, you need to make your way to Bo-Kaap. Also known as the Malay Quarter, this Cape Town neighborhood sits on the slopes of Signal Hill and is known for its bright painted houses that come in every shade under the rainbow. It's a fun place to wander around, and you're bound to come across a few Instagram shoots going on.
While you're in Bo-Kaap, you can't miss the chance to sample some Cape Malay food. This type of cuisine combines Malaysian, Indonesian, and African flavors. We went to Biesmiellah, which is an institution in this part of town, and we had one of the tastiest meals ever. So all the food is here, and it smells and it looks amazing. But we're gonna be trying something new. We're having something called bobo tea. At least I think that's how you say it, and I'm gonna read you the description because this sounds tantalizing. A sweet, sour flavored lean beef mince, stir-fried with fresh herbs, spices, topped with a milk egg glaze, served with sweet yellow rice. That's
How is
nice. It's kind of sweet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it like sweet mint sweet? A bit?
Yeah.
I wonder if
Like, I don't know if there's like cinnamon or nutmeg or...
I wonder if there's any raisins in there.
The raisins would go really well with this.
Okay.
It's got like a Christmassy flavor in a way.
Oh wow. So enjoying that, huh?
It does have raisins. There you go. There you go. This is really good.
My wish has been granted.
My food wish.
My food wish.
I make food wishes.
I make food
eating.
wishes with an imaginary genie.
That's good stuff. Time for dish number 2. So the next one that we got is a mutton curry. And it says, skewers of mutton cooked gently and slowly with a blend of selected traditional spices and herbs to produce a tantalizing curry. Check that out.
That does look like a tantalizing
It does
curry.
look tantalizing, and it comes with roti.
Yes.
So I'm just...
We ate like an insane amount of roti when we were in Malaysia and Singapore, so that is a very familiar bread for us.
Oh yeah. You know what? I don't even think I got any mutton in that bite. It's just sauce, but let's go with that.
How's the curry? Savory? Alright. Grabbing a bit of roti and going in for my first bite. I am going in with the hands. Oh, nice. And I was able to scoop out a piece of the mutton, right? Wow. Oh, that is some tender mutton. And then when you combine it with that's just a really rich, savory sauce, and then a really nice roti. Yeah, that's a winning combo for sure.
So this morning we are doing the city sightseeing tour. It's a hop on, hop off. And I think we have like 3 different loops. So we're just gonna ride the bus and get off wherever we think a place looks interesting.
It's gonna let us to explore a lot more of the outskirts of the city as opposed to just the downtown area. So we're really looking forward to that. One of the best things we did in Cape Town was make use of the city sightseeing bus. This allowed us to explore different parts of the city, including a few places that would have been hard to reach without a car. The whole journey is narrated via audio headset, plus it was a great way to get an overview of Cape Town. So next up we're at Camps Bay Beach, and I don't think I've ever been so bundled up for the beach before. The views are incredible, the water is ice cold, so I don't think we're going to be going in, but we will show you the views. One of the stops on the bus tour was Camps Bay Beach. It was a bit early in the day, so we had the whole place to ourselves, but it's easy to see why this is one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Cape Town. The mountain backdrop is breathtaking. Another place we visited during the Hop On Hop Off tour was Kirstenbosch National Botanical Garden. Set against the eastern slopes of Table Mountain, this is yet again another beautiful spot worth visiting. If you do make it all the way out here, don't miss the tree canopy walkway named Boomslang, meaning tree snake. So last time we were in Cape Town, we didn't make it to the Kirstenbosch Gardens, and I was really sad because this was the one place I really wanted to see. And now we're finally here, and we're doing the canopy tree walk.
We have arrived at Beau, Constantia. Why are we here, Sam?
Wine and more wine. Wine tasting time.
We just spent a full week in Stellenbosch drinking wine. Clearly, that was not enough.
I'm hooked. I would do this like probably every week if I lived in this area.
All right, let's go in.
While riding the city sightseeing bus, we also discovered that there was a wine loop. So naturally, we decided a wine tasting was in order, and we made our way over to Beau, Constantia. Beau, Constantia is a boutique wine farm located at the top of Constantia Neck, overlooking False Bay. It was a beautiful setting, and their wines were also really good.
Let the wine tasting begin. We are starting with a glass of white. Pas de nom is the name. That means it has no name.
You got it like that.
That's so clever.
It's so clever.
Anyways, we've ordered food. We got ourselves a cheese box. Ooh, a cheese and meat box.
Look at this. Look at all of that cheese and meat.
Fancy. Okay, that's meant to be shared, Sam.
That's just for me.
Moving on to the red. On to the red.
And I'm definitely more a fan of the red.
So today we are visiting the Castle of Good Hope, but unfortunately we've chosen a day when there's some kind of event happening here. So there's going to be no firing of the cannon and we can't go into the museum, so we'll just show you the grounds and make the most of it. This place is a maze of yellow. It is so bright and cheerful, and we're just wandering around the governor's quarters. He had a fancy home. The Castle of Good Hope was built by the Dutch East India Company between 1666 and 1679, and it is the oldest colonial building in South Africa. The fort was built as tensions rose between Britain and the Netherlands, and rumors of war began to swirl. Today, the building houses the Castle Military Museum. Now let's dive into museums. First up, we visited the District 6 Museum. District 6 was once a mixed community of freed slaves, merchants, artisans, laborers, and immigrants. It was a vibrant community. However, by the beginning of the 20th century, the process of removals had begun. In total, more than 60,000 people were forcibly removed to the Cape Flats, and their houses in District 6 were flattened by bulldozers. This museum is a memorial that shares individual stories of former residents.
We also visited the Slave Lodge, which, as the name suggests, was a building used as a lodge for slaves of the Dutch East India Company. Like the District 6 Museum, this is a must visit to better understand South Africa's history.
And if art is your thing, there's the South African National Gallery, which is located in the company's garden. The gallery houses works by South African, British, French, Dutch, and Flemish artists. So this afternoon we are taking a little wander through the company's gardens, and we lucked out with an Airbnb that's directly across the park. So it's pretty cool. You have a few different museums and galleries within the park itself, and Sam's off chasing albino squirrels at the moment.
And while you're at the company's garden, we'd also recommend grabbing a bite at their restaurant. We went there for breakfast and had a bit of a feast.
Well, you're looking pretty happy over there with coffee and food in front of your face.
Another cappuccino. Look at the size of this. This is the full English or the complete breakfast or whatever you want to call it here.
Well, give us a tour then.
This thing is massive. Like this plate, look at this.
It's more like a platter.
It is a platter. It is a double hand platter. A double hand platter.
Oh, man.
So over here we've got what appears to be some
mushrooms.
fried mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
We have a hash brown. We have a grilled tomato. We have toast. We have bacon.
Ooh.
And that will please any Canadian guy. And over here we have like a long thin sausage. And then we have 2 eggs well done.
Okay, so for my breakfast I ordered eggs Benedict with salmon.
Eggs Benedict is probably one of the breakfast items whenever it's available. Like we're kind of all over that. It's probably one of our favorite things to have. What do you think? He gets the thumbs up. The Cape Peninsula is an easy day trip from Cape Town. You could do a bus tour, but why would you want to sit in a bus all day when you could be riding a sidecar? This is one of the funnest tours we've done in a while, and it was a blast thanks to our guide Bradley, who had a great sense of humor.
I'm gonna make you look gangster for... Leave it there for me.
Gangster.
There we go, my gangster look.
There you go.
Almost there.
Suits you well.
Yeah.
There we go.
And the coolest thing I have to say about this helmet is just the sunglasses.
There we go.
They're kind of like
My
sunglass goggles, yeah.
Yeah, goggles. So you can
They
put
are
that on
goggles.
later
There
as
we
well,
go.
and
There
you'll
you
look
go.
So for now, you can take this down. But if you need it when you're on the bike, when you're sitting behind another car with fumes or a lot of wind in your face, then you just easy to pop up. Okay,
right.
so now save
Good.
for you.
All right, are you all set?
All set, now your turn.
Ready to go?
We rode all the way down to the Cape of Good Hope, which is the southwesternmost point on the African continent. Sam had an encounter with an ostrich and we saw baboons. We also climbed to the top of the lighthouse for views of what looks like the ends of the earth. Next up, we have made it to Boulders Beach, where the main attraction is...
Penguins, and more penguins. There's a colony of penguins here, and we're gonna go check them out.
For a little bit of shopping, we hit up Greenmarket Square, where there is no shortage of choice when it comes to souvenirs. We saw everything from beaded jewelry and wire art to bright dashikis and carved wooden sculptures. Now, if you had to choose one thing to take back home, what would it be?
Well, that's a tough decision because there's a lot of really cool artwork and like tapestry and all these other things. But I've got my eye on these skinny giraffes, and I've seen them sold all over South Africa, but that would definitely not fit in my suitcase. I think I'd like have to break.
They're like really tall. They're like 6 feet tall, like wooden giraffes.
Off and then its legs, and then throw it in the suitcase and then glue it back together. But that wouldn't be very cool. So I guess I'd have to explore shipping. Just a short walk from there, we found Miriam's Kitchen. Here you can order the famed Gatsby, a popular South African sandwich, which is a behemoth of a meal. What have we done?
Oh, what have we done? Oh my gosh. Okay, so today we're in Cape Town and we wanted to try the Gatsby. This is a dish that apparently originated in the Cape Flats. It's fast food. So we thought, hey, let's order 2 half portions. And then this behemoth of a meal arrived, and I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna eat all of this.
Accurately portray just how big this is. Like,
it's huge.
Put your hand out.
My hand.
Like, this thing is enormous.
It's like bigger than my head. This is the half portion.
Way bigger than our head.
Imagine if we had gotten the full one, like the bread would be out to here. Like, this is to feed a family. It's enough food to feed a group of friends. And we're gonna eat all of this, just the 2 of us. Okay, so it is time to introduce you to the Gatsby.
Time to tuck into it, but first, like, basically it is just, if you can imagine, it's a massive submarine sandwich. You see that shaped like a submarine? Because if we actually went like that, you can see, that's probably what a large one looks like.
Yes, that would be one large, basically.
That would be one large one. And anyways, yeah, let's take a look and see what's inside. So
it's filled with chips. That's the key ingredient. Every Gatsby has chips.
Whoa, look how many chips there are. And then what I got here, I got steak masala, so you can see like there's a big, generous chunk of steak.
In there.
Big hunk of steak. I noticed some lettuce at the bottom.
Yeah, there's a bit of salad in there as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of salad, but it's obviously at the very, very bottom. You can barely see it.
Yeah, and we noticed on the menu they had a whole bunch of fillings. You can get it with hot dogs, with sausage, cheese and eggs.
They have one with curry as well too.
Yeah,
so like
so many options.
You can get anything you want, really. All right, so let's actually go in for the first bite.
Actually, they just told us that we're supposed to be eating this with our hands.
Okay.
No cutlery allowed.
All right.
So good luck.
All right. Good luck with that.
Good luck, Sam.
Whoa, it's just like, look at, oh my gosh, I can't even hold it. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Oh. That is so good.
And also, you got
you know what?
Your chips coated in barbecue.
I got mine. I think there's
spice.
barbecue and maybe like a bit of piri. That is like really spicy, and so you really taste the chips. You taste the steak, and then of course there's not a lot of salad in there. I have to say, I do think there's some onions, but my gosh.
You know what? This is like hangover food. Time for the first bite.
That's insane. It is just so big. So big. Isn't it good? Yours must be spicy.
It's good. Well, tomato sauce is sweet, so it balances out. But seriously, this is like carb overload. Bread and potatoes.
Yeah, there's no way we each needed our own half one, but
okay, share it a half.
We will try our best.
Had we known. Had we known.
Another dish we'd recommend trying is bunny chow. For this meal, we made our way to the Eastern Food Bazaar.
We're going to introduce you to a dish called bunny chow. And we first had bunny chow when we came to South Africa about 2 years ago. We had it on safari, and the first time we heard bunny chow, we were like, whoa, they're eating baby bunnies? That's a little sad, I'm not sure I can. But this dish has nothing to do with bunnies, nothing to do with rabbit. It's actually a curry. So it's a hollowed out loaf of bread stuffed with curry, and this is a dish that actually originated in Durban, where there's a large Indian population.
Yeah, so first up, I am having the chicken bunny chow. And before I have that, I'll point out that the one that you got is vegetarian, and there was also lamb on the menu. So yeah,
lots of options.
Lots of options. And like, just look at how big this is. This is my hand.
It's seriously like half a loaf of bread right there.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna dig right in. I'm gonna try to get a bit, oh wow, look at that. Nice big piece of chicken. I'm gonna try to get a bit of bread, try to get a bit of chicken. So that piece of chicken is so big, I think I'm just gonna go for some sauce.
Ooh la la.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
It smells so good. I can smell the curry
It is
from here.
a wonderful curry. It's rich. It's a little bit spicy, but not overpoweringly spicy. It kind of reminds me a bit of a masala curry. It's just got that kind of rich tomato base.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's good. I'm going in for a second bite. You know what's good when I go in for round two. And I did get a little bit of bread from the side as well. Oh yeah.
It is now my turn, so I got the vegetarian bunny chow. And here's the bread that was hollowed out from inside the loaf. So I'm gonna use this for dipping.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I should mention, if you compare our curries, yours is more of a brown color, whereas mine is orange. So yours should taste different.
That's good.
How is that?
It's good. Whoa, I'm spraying everywhere. We've got some lentils, potatoes, green beans.
Yeah,
not lentils, I mean peas. Yeah, it's so spicy. Oh my god. It burns in the throat.
Yours is obviously spicier than mine.
I think it may be.
Mine's spicy, but it's just kind of mildly spicy.
This is such a fun meal as well. Like, look at this. I have a tower of bread on my plate. Like, come on. How often can you eat out of a tower of bread?
Not very.
And if you feel like sampling some international cuisine, Cape Town has that too. We were in the mood for Peruvian, so we had dinner at Charango, where they make a mouth-watering ceviche and tiradito. For a look at Cape Town through a different lens, you can also do a street art tour with Juma, who is a guide and local street artist. He runs a few different tours through Woodstock and the township of Khayelitsha, where you can see murals done by national and international artists. It is time to hit up Kloof Street. Kloof.
Yes, and I'm in search of Pinotage, which is a unique wine to South Africa.
Yes, so let's see if we can find a wine bar. Ooh la la!
If you're looking for a taste of Cape Town's nightlife, Kloof Street and Long Street are your best bets. These two streets are lined with bars and late night dining spots. But if you stick around long enough, this area really comes to life.
So we didn't end up at a wine bar, we ended up at a cool hostel that has a bar and they serve wine. So we got some house wine.
This is an official Baz bus stop, so this is this is a bit of a reminder of our trip in 2015.
All right.
So yeah, anyways, going back to the Pinotage grape. So this is the local grape of South Africa. And it is a red grape. It is like known for its smoky and earthy flavors.
Oh, Mr. Wine Connoisseur getting fancy over here.
And I love my wine, so time to try.
Good stuff. And I'm having the white. Cheers! Clink!
And that's a wrap for our week in Cape Town, South Africa. We hope you enjoyed following along and that this guide gave you a few ideas of things to see, do, and eat in Cape Town. As always, if you have any other suggestions for fellow travelers, feel free to share those in the comments below. In the meantime, wishing you happy travels and see you next time.